Yo-way-o, home varay. Yo-way-ra, jaroom running G.
What do we like this time?
Monks.
That would be really, really apt for the next episode because it's about a bunch of space monks.
That's pretty cool.
So, but this is in honor of the next episode. Ooh. Kyrie Jesu Domine, Dona Eis Requiem.
I thumped you from behind.
We watched Wake the Dead, which I regretfully, after watching 791, I thought that was the episode about the lesbian goth who was in love with Zev and the Divine Shadow zombies. That's actually Twilight.
Spoilers!
In the next disc. This was actually, Wake the Dead was the teen slasher episode.
It was good, I enjoyed it. Obnoxious teens died. And everyone was happy. Yay.
Yeah, basically the most 80s tastics teen slasher teenagers characters, they freeze them, accidentally cryo freeze themselves for 300 years. The Lexx picks them up, they wake up Kai wrong, and he turns into a serial killer because...
With yellow eyes.
Because one of them, I'm guessing Jeffrey Hirschfield said, you know what Lexx needs? A slasher movie episode.
And they were dedicated to those tropes, I have to say.
Yeah, the only issue really I'd say is the directing. The killings were were not directed with the right finesse for a slasher film. No, they usually, they were very, very television-y done. It was...
Well, that was the point. It was satire.
I know, but it didn't... The rest of it...
Wasn't satire enough, damn it.
No, the performances, the writing, and the feel were perfect. It was just the way that they were directed.
Okay. All right.
The deaths. Everything else was great.
But yeah, so they come across this this transport where these kids have been in cryo sleep for 300 years, and there's the standard bullied, worried fat kid.
Who's basically Shelley from Friday the 13th Part 3.
You have, like, the too cool for school asshole guy, the alpha male.
Who are half the characters in the series.
Yeah. You have, like, the other guy, who is just kind of a normal guy. You have the... Like, I want to say this because people on Tumblr will get angry, but the character who's meant to be the rebellious slut, I mean, I don't really know how else to say that.
She turns up. She's the one that turns up as Bunny in season 3 and 4.
And then you have the nice girl,
who looks like Natasha Lyonne in But I'm a Cheerleader.
Yeah. So they die in horrible ways, which is good because they were getting on my nerves.
Tell you what, I would have been fine with Gibble as a member of the crew, just standing there being like, yes, I'll do it, being hilarious.
Getting eaten by Leica like every episode just because.
Yeah, kind of like how I wish that Gareth Jenkins had become a real companion in Doctor Who. I kind of wish Gibble had become a regular. Just someone who's there to be amusingly crap.
But yeah, they wake Kai up wrong, which seems to be there when you need it as a plot device for why Kai can turn evil.
Yep.
And so the one guy's like, yeah, totally assassinate all of them, man. Just like kill them all and be inventive, have fun with it. Yeah. And Zan's like, what the fuck are you doing? They're like, nothing. And so Kai wakes up and starts killing people.
And somehow this instructions, while being woken up, turned his eyes yellow and his hair like wild and crazy, and gave him the appearance of emotions.
Mm-hmm. Also, we find out how the toilet works on Lexx, because of course someone dies in the toilet, because it's 80s slasher movie, someone has to die in the toilet.
It's like a vaginal-ish raised opening with a tongue inside.
Yeah, so there's that. The cool thing was, though, that, like, two of the characters were totally hitting on Stan and Zev, and they were kind of like, you're cute, but you're 12. So, I mean, they weren't 12, they were supposed to be, like, I guess, like, anywhere between 16 and 18.
Yeah, but then one of them was like, Stan, I'm 300 years older than you, and he's like, okay, sold.
Yeah, but then he's not really committed to it, you know?
Yeah. They were being far more decent than they used to.
Yeah, you said that it's like there were too many assholes in the cast, so they sopped up some of the original assholery of the crew.
Yeah, everything that... Lexx, an episode requires a certain base level of assholery, and usually it's the leads take at least some of that, and this time it was given to all the guest stars instead.
Yeah.
So, Omega approved.
Bing.
She was like, I went through a whole episode and I didn't want the leads dead once.
True.
This is you know,
Although
this is
I
progress.
don't like how people have resources that are only really occasionally touched on. Like, Zev's whole cluster lizard thing. Only really remembered if it's one, already too late, or two, helps in no way. Like, Stan can command Lexx to do anything. Like, Kai is chasing them through the Lexx. He could just be like, Lexx, please quarantine Kai and,
Well,
this
we don't know if we can
area.
quarantine certain areas, plus Kai could cut through the Lexx.
That's true.
With Zev's cluster lizard thing, I've seen fans surmise that it's actually, she doesn't remember she can do it.
Oh.
That it's entirely emotional based, and it's like the Incredible Hulk, him getting angry or whatever. That
Don't make me a cluster lizard.
Yeah,
you wouldn't
that-
like me when I'm a cluster lizard.
that Zev doesn't really remember what happens when she's in that sort of thing, so she can't really remember what she can do.
Okay, that's a
And
good
so
point.
it's just if she's frightened enough, it takes over.
We had, of course, more snark from 790. And he threatens to blow up the teams with deadly eye lasers. Which was kind of good, I guess.
That's because Jeff Hirschfield wrote this, and he plays 790. So of course he's gonna be all like, 790 does this, and then 790 does that, and then 790 does this. Let's call this episode 790.
Ta-da, just like last time.
790 minus 1, because
That's
last time it was 791.
But yeah, I mean, it was they kind of had this whole retro thing going on, like futuristic space 80s.
Yeah, it was
It
great.
was interesting, interesting.
The
aesthetic.
the one who becomes Bunny in season 3, and then First Lady Bunny in season 4, who gets killed in the shower in this one. She looked like Trash from Return of the Living Dead. It was great. I wanted her to strip naked and do a dance to "Tonight I'm gonna die till I die." Great.
Yeah, and they had their like own kind of like.
That was
version of
Linnea
drugs.
Quigley.
Huh?
In Trash and Return of the Living Dead. Just remember, she's Linnea Quigley. She did a voice in Where the Dead Gonna Die.
Oh,
Can't remember which character though.
Jesus! Well, there you go.
I've seen her naked.
Was it the prostitute who was jerking off the guy's prosthetic leg?
Possible. I don't know.
If you are confused, you're not the only one. You should probably take a lot of medication and then go watch Where the Dead Go Die.
If you've seen Return of the Living Dead, you've seen a cast member of Where the Dead Gonna Die naked.
That's all kinds of upsetting. Just trust me on that one. But yeah.
You
Although I
loved
like
this.
that, the first thing that the one kid says when he realizes they've been out for 300 years is, "Oh my gosh, my dad's gonna kill me." I like that.
And I quoted Red Dwarf at them.
What
100
did you say?
years? Most of my friends will be dead. Psh. Actually, that wasn't Red Dwarf. That was Burning the Genie. Red Dwarf's one was 2 million years! I've still got the library book.
I have to confess something. I've only seen a few episodes of Red Dwarf, and I kind of have a bias against it because my best friend was dating this guy, and he was one of the most insufferable goths in the world. Like, this guy's just so insufferable. He was just always had to be right. He always knew more than you, even if he was completely pulling it out of its ass. And you were like,
And
"No, you're
now
wrong."
she's married to that
Pretty
person.
much. No, but because... And so he thought that the sun shone out of the ass of everyone involved with Red Dwarf, and he just obsessed over it so much. And then said, and like, the kind of like, "Oh, that show you like, I guess that's okay, but Red Dwarf is the only funny thing, really." And I'm like, oh,
Really?
whatever.
There's a
So,
lot of Red
like-
Dwarf that's not very good.
I know, and I know
Ask
that there's
season 7.
some people who really like Red Dwarf, and like people whose opinions I really respect. But sometimes I just can't. I don't know. I just can't put myself to watch it because I just remember him smugly saying, "Yeah, and then Rumor said this, and it was really funny. See, the reason thing that you don't understand is in the UK. No, just shut up, just shut up."
In the UK, Red Dwarf is a very mainstream show.
Mm-hmm.
It's very just considered a classic piece of comedy, at least when it's good.
Well, I really like the theme song because it's it's what Nash ends RDA with. So I would remember, like, back in, like, 2010 when I, worked from home, so I'd stay up all night and, there's the theme song, I better switch over to Lupa stream, because that's back when Lupa would, like, stream all night with Phone Brain and stuff, or, watch TV at, like, 2 in the morning, so I guess there's one good thing that come out of Red Dwarf, so.
My preference for Red Dwarf is season 1 to 6, with a special preference for seasons 3 to 6.
Didn't they, like, reboot it recently?
No reboots. But
Or, like, something happened.
there's a massive lack of continuity in Red Dwarf anyway.
Yeah, but didn't, like, something new happen recently? Because I remember people talking
There
about
was
it.
the new season.
Oh, well, was that good?
They're apparently working on a new season,
Oh,
which
there
is
you
season
go.
11. What happened was, there was 6 seasons, which happened fairly regularly. Then there was a big break for like 4 or 5 years, Then they did season 7, which was filmed more like films, which didn't do very well. Then they did season 8 after a longer break. And then they didn't do season 9, they did Back to Earth, which was like a 3-episode miniseries. And then they did season 10.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the interviews, they claimed that there will be a season 9, but they're not doing it yet, which I have no idea about. But then now they're working on season 11.
Well, maybe at some point when we're done Lexx, we'll do Red Dwarf. Although it's kind of a different, like a half-hour, like sitcom-y kind of thing is kind of different than.
That's true.
Yeah. Well, we'll talk about it.
It's up and down.
Yeah. I just know that there's one guy who used to be a cat, and then one guy he's a Geordie, right?
No.
He's from the Midlands.
There's a guy who's there's Lister who's from Liverpool, and there's the cat who is
He used to be a cat who evolved, right?
Well, he never used to be a cat. His ancestors were cats. Like 2 million years ago, his direct ancestors were cats.
Okay.
But he's a human-like thing that has evolved from cats.
Yeah.
You know, like the same way we evolved from arboreal animals. And there's also a Rimmer who's very, very anal retentive.
Isn't he a hologram?
Yes. Well, depending on the season, mostly yes. And depending on your country, there's either 2 or possibly 3 versions of Rimmer. Because there's the one that you see before he dies, then there is the hologram Rimmer, and then there is then there's Ace Rimmer from an alternate reality, then there's other Ace Rimmer from another alternate reality, then there is Reborn Rimmer from season 8, then there's the Back to Earth Rimmer and the one from season 10, who may or may not be the same one who was the Reborn Rimmer, but then killed again and turned into a hologram again, or might be the same one from the first hologram Rimmer who's back. We're not sure.
So anyway, Lexx. Sorry about that.
Yes, and there's Crichton, who is a very, very... He's like a butler robot.
Oh yeah, he's got the head.
Yeah, he's got an inexplicably bad Canadian accent.
And if any fans are still around after I said I didn't like the girl from Labyrinth, they don't like me anymore now.
Yeah.
But yeah, this was a better episode than most. Mostly because it was stupid, like, it was another one of those, because the plot says it has to happen this way. But it was satire, so you can kind of forgive it, satire for that, so.
Yeah, this is them being silly before the plot starts kicking off again.
Yeah, I haven't seen the little arms in a while.
Yeah, if I remember correctly, it's the next couple of episodes when the crew begin to be aware that Mantrid's arms and their machinations for doing things, before it gets really heavy.
So these are kind of like the fluff episodes before the plot.
Yeah.
Yeah, fair enough.
It's one of the ones that, this is an episode you could literally remove from the canon and it would change nothing.
Yeah. So that was, which episode was it? Like the number-wise.
10, I think. 1, 2, 3, 4, 8. Yep, 10.
That was season 2, episode 10 of Lexx Appeal.
Yeah, we are the halfway mark of season 2.
Wow, it's been a long and strange trip. It's been.
We just have to watch episodes more often.
Like every day.
Yes.
Like monks.
Yes. Like will appear in the next episode.